The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report, man. Make sure you sign my petition too. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716. It's hot out here. Let me unbutton one of these shits. God damn. But now check this out though. Or actually look for that change.org link also in the video description if you're watching on YouTube. Now, everybody knows that Tropical Storm Dorian, which actually upgraded to a Category 5 Hurricane Dorian, had hit the Bahamas. Well, it completely decimated whole neighborhoods out there. The numbers have come back. There's actually at least 7 people dead as rescue operations are underway to try to save people. But they're saying 70 to 80% of the areas that were hit are actually still underwater. Most of the damage is done in Baco and Grand Bahama Islands, including the Grand Bahama International Airport, all underwater. Now, this is actually obviously is looked at as crazily, but it's coming to Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas as a Category 2 storm. So stay woke. Green Wall and World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report, man. Make sure you sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, or in the video description if you're watching on YouTube. Now, Tropical Storm Fernand actually formed in the western Gulf of Mexico yesterday, and it is expected to hit Mexico today. Basically, it hit it in the northeastern side of Mexico. So, keep those folks in your thoughts and prayers. There's been a lot of racism going on, a lot of hate in the U.S. going towards immigrants and Mexicans. But the reality is, they people just like us, and the founding fathers of America actually stole this land from them. So, they're indigenous to this whole America situation in the first fucking place. So show them some love, keep them in your positive thoughts and prayers. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report, man. Sign my petition, yo. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. He is a danger to us, the people abroad, the U.S. troops. You can find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, or in the video description if you're watching on YouTube. Now, over in Hong Kong, now keep in mind, I've been keeping y'all in touch with that for the last 2-3 months, really. And they've been protesting week after week over initially an extradition bill that was introduced by Chief Executive Carrie Lam, who put the bill out that basically says if you catch a case in Hong Kong, you could be extradited to China and have to face those charges and deal with the court systems there. Now, Hong Kong, even though it's in China, it is semi-autonomous. They run on a one country, two system. But Carrie Lam has officially announced that the extradition bill is withdrawn. Before it was suspended and people were still protesting because they felt like that was some phony shit. They wanted her resignation. Now it's withdrawn. I wonder if they'll still want her to resign. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report. So the CEO of Walmart, Doug McMillon, actually sent a letter to Congress that basically outlines some policy changes within the company that might have apparently shaken the nation. Definitely went viral as far as the news story goes. So they are going to cease, first off, the sale of handguns in Alaska, which was the last state that they actually sold handguns in. They are going to completely cease the sale of ammunition for handguns and for short barrel rifles, which also can be used in military style semi-autos. They're going to continue the sale of long barrel rifles and shotguns and the ammunition for those. But they, along with these policy changes, are them going as a company. They're going to back calls for more extensive background checks and discourage open carrying in their stores. Now, Kroger grocery chain is actually somewhat following suit by essentially banning all open carrying of weapons in their stores. So Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, man, let y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report. Yo, another mass shooting. Now, I told y'all the one the other day that happened in this past weekend in Western Texas, where that dude went on a GTA rampage, ended up killing 7 people. This happens in Alabama, where a boy basically takes a handgun, 14-year-old boy, and shoots his father, his stepmother, his 5-year-old, 6-year-old, and 6-month-old siblings. And that's the end of that. They're all dead. He then calls the police and confesses. So the authorities still don't know what happened to where he got the handgun, but it's just this shit is insane, man. What do you do about it though? Green Wall and Graduation. Well, though the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure you sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716. Now, Defense Secretary Mark Esper actually gave a formal authorization for $3.6 billion of the Pentagon's funds that was actually supposed to go to 127 different military construction projects to actually be reallocated towards the building of 175 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border wall that Donald Trump has been trying to build since his fucking presidency even started. Now, this is actually, obviously people are enraged about this, but keep in mind that we're over 200 days into a national emergency, so this was bound to come. And even when Congress tried to overturn that, he overturned that, you know what I mean, by vetoing over that. So it's like, what are people to do? Stuff we're gonna expect. You gotta expect more shit like this to happen. Groups like the ACLU though are vowing to challenge it, but it seems like the Republicans and the evil motherfuckers out the upper hand. Greenwald and Graduation. Well, though the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure you sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, or in the video description if you're watching on YouTube. Now, I told y'all last month about the Citizenship and Immigration Services, under the Trump administration, their plans to actually deny immigrants their medical deferred action exemption status, which basically was a program that immigrants with visas were allowed to apply to if they had serious illnesses. They could actually get treatment in the U.S. for like up to 2 years. So the Trump administration decided to kill that. It actually turns out that applicants of the program were getting letters from the government saying leave the country or face deportation. So it got real serious. But now officials are coming out saying that no deportations have taken place ever since they made that announcement, and that they were going to reopen pending cases. But there's no uncertainty about the long-term effects of the program. We'll see what happens. Greenwald and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report. So over in Guatemala, actually, Sandra Torres, former first lady and runner-up to last month's presidential election, where she lost to the right-wing dude Alejandro Guillamate. She was actually arrested in her home in Guatemala City, and this took place because she was suspected of the misuse of campaign finances and unlawful association during the 2015 election, where she actually lost to the current outgoing president, Jimmy Morales. That's the dude that was dealing with Donald Trump on the whole third-party asylum country thing that they was trying to put in place. Now, this is big because the United Nations-backed Anti-Corruption Commission, the CICIG, they actually launched this investigation against her. After she's arrested, they pretty much announced her formal expulsion. I guess they feel like they caught the big fish because they were basically trying to bust up what they describe as like a mafia organization of politicians, business people, and wealthy elite that were essentially trying to reach impunity and keep up the status quo. So, see what happens. Greenwald Graduation. We'll go to Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure you sign my petition too. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, or in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube. Over in Italy, they actually agreed to form a new government and avoiding snap elections that people fear would take place right after the disintegration of the ruling far-right party. Now, and which was a snowball that was pushed in motion or pushed down the hill by Interior Secretary, the far-right anti-immigrant dude, Matteo Salvini, when he withdrew his support from the party. Now, this is taking place because the anti-establishment 5-star movement is actually agreeing to share power, is actually going to do a power-sharing deal with the center-left Democratic Party. So, currently, Giuseppe Conte, the prime minister who was actually resigning, he's actually going to stay on as the prime minister, and this actually takes away power from Matteo Salvini. So we'll see how this turns out. Greenwald and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN report, man. Make sure you sign my petition. Get Donald Trump off Twitter. Find the change.org link in my Instagram bio, GradyGrant716, or you can find it in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube. Now, a North Carolina court, actually after a group, Common Cause, actually brought this case to them, they ruled unanimously that the GOP, that the Republicans in North Carolina were guilty of extreme partisan gerrymandering with their drawn-out legislative maps, and that they have 2 weeks to actually redraw these legislative maps. Now, for those who don't know, gerrymandering is essentially when a party redraws voting districts in a way that's designed to actually get more people from said party into the state and federal Congress. So in doing this is they were called out, and a lot of people are cheering this on, because it's like, all right, now the Republicans, because North Carolina is considered a red state, now the Republicans won't be able to just rig the elections anymore. So we'll see what happens. Green won't grab the New World Order. Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this BFN Report, man. I can't make these stories up, yo. But check this out. So y'all ever heard of Hope for Wellness? Hope for Wholeness, pardon me. This is actually, it used to be called Truth Ministries, and it actually was a founded in 1999. It's a gay conversion therapy program. So it turns out that the founder of this program, McCray Gaines, actually came out as gay. So, and he apologized for the program and it being harmful. Now, apparently this consists of like, these programs consist of like counseling and other intervention methods. According to a UCLA study, 700,000 people have gone through these programs hoping to go from gay to straight. And at the same time, the Human Rights Watch reports that there's like at least 18 states and 50 cities and counties that actually have laws against this shit. But I mean, how do we know he's not just a dissatisfied customer? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gay and you start a gay conversion? I don't get it, man. Green won't grab you.